26. Here's Rekha to go right along with that. How's that? Rekha Basu from the Des Moines Register joining us in studio right now, and we're just making comment, laughing, coming back from commercials because we pointed over at the paper and said, that's a clever headline, that's a good headline. Rekha says,
I wrote that.
Well, I hope so.
Well, sometimes we don't write our own headlines, but
really?
increasingly we do. Yeah, in the past it's always been that your editor wrote the headline, but you know, I think that we've switched to a different model now, and so we write our own, which is good in the sense that it keeps with the thrust of what you're trying to say and can't be misinterpreted, mischaracterized. So, but sometimes the problem is fitting it into the space.
That's true.
That's
too.
the challenge.
The good old days of writing for a newspaper. Well, let's see what that headline is this morning as we pick up the Des Moines Register on the back page here, I believe 15A. You are saying very blatantly, even Walmart pays workers better than Iowa law requires. Of course, we're talking about the minimum wage bill that did pass both the House and Senate, now is on the governor's desk.
Exactly.
And look to be signed this week.
Yes, and there is every indication that the governor will sign it. So the minimum wage bill, as you all know, declares that not only does Iowa's minimum wage statewide remain at $7.25 an hour, where it's been stuck since 2008, but that no individual county can increase its minimum wage. And there were 5 counties that had either done that or were in the process of doing that in Iowa. Some raising them up to $8.25 an hour, $8.45, and to reflect the prevailing economy in their community. And now the state legislature comes along and says, no, you can't even do that. Even retroactively, they're going to apply this measure.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, so that all of those are going to be void once signed by the governor. All of those individual minimum wage increases that county boards of supervisors spent months planning and researching and getting consensus on are going to be null and void.
So it's going to revert back to the old one.
Exactly.
Wow.
So what did you write about? And obviously you're saying you don't agree with this.
I don't agree with it.
I'm assuming here, but what are you writing about in today's article?
Well, what I'm writing about is a couple of things. One is at a minimum wage rate, a full-time worker in Iowa would earn $15,000 a year. And that is little enough to entitle you to get public assistance. And for a long time, we have been saying, I've been saying, other people have been saying, that it is a shame and a disgrace how a company like Walmart, the largest retailer in the country, can underpay its workers to the point where they're dependent on public health care and other public benefits that taxpayers are paying for. Now here we come along. In the meantime, Walmart increased its minimum wage to $9 an hour, and ours in Iowa is still stuck at $7.25, and that means that our workers, our minimum wage workers, are required to get on public assistance for many of their, just basic necessities. And I think this is a mean-spirited bill because basically the legislators who passed it have no regard to what it is like to work at a minimum wage job and have to support a family. And there have been studies done by the Economic Policy Institute that say that you need a single parent with a child or 2 children needs a minimum of something like $25 an hour to just pay rent and the details.